looking at the most extraordinary pool of creativity and talent. I'm looking at the pool of creativity and talent that our industry very badly needs, because we need innovation and disruption as much as any other industry. And as a number of you will have heard me say, women challenge the status quo because we are never it. And so we are the answer. But still, why are we so underrepresented in creative departments across the US and around the world? Well, I'm going to talk to you about the specific barriers that are still blocking us and then how we break through them. So here's barrier number one. Oh, we really wanted women. We just couldn't find any. Well, then you didn't look hard enough, because what am I looking at right here? Hello? So if you couldn't find any, you don't really want any. You didn't want any enough to go digging, to do your research, to talk to everybody you could, to reach out, to put the time and effort and labor needed to find brilliant women. Whereas all Cat had to do was create the 3% conference, and it attracted them like a goddamn magnet. And as I tweeted earlier today, every agency in the US should have been down here recruiting the fucking shit out of this conference. And I'm amazed they're not. So you know, here's the next barrier we face. There weren't any good women candidates. Here's what drives that syndrome. In our industry, as in every other industry, men are hired and promoted on potential, and women are hired and promoted on proof. So with male creatives, the male ECD goes, he really reminds me of myself at that age. You know, I can totally see myself in him. He's great to have a beer with. I really like to hang out with him. Yeah, you know, he's got the potential to do the job. With a woman, it's, has she done the job? Has she done the job long enough? Has she done the job well enough? She has to have done the job. And then you're into the vicious circle of, obviously there aren't enough of us who've done the job, and so there aren't enough of us to pick from. And then there is this barrier. This is the single most appallingly insulting thing that anybody can say when they are asked why there is not more diversity in the creative department. It's all about the work. Why is it when we challenge ECDs and agencies on their lack of diversity in the creative department, that the instant assumption amongst white male ECDs and leaders is that diversity will lead to a drop in quality and less good work? Do you know what that response is saying when you make it? It's saying that you think that women and people of color are inherently less creative, less talented, and inferior to white men, and that the best work in our industry can only be done by white men. So here's how you break through that barrier. I want every single executive creative director, every single creative director who is hiring, to say this to their recruiter or their HR person or their creative manager: I want to see non-white female ECD creative candidates who have the potential to do the job. If every single creative director across this nation said that to their recruiters, oh my God, you'd be amazed at the wealth of utterly brilliant non-white female talent that would suddenly be unearthed and visible. And by the way, I obviously mean this about white female candidates and non-white male candidates. It's just that the ultimate, the rarest unicorn in our industry is the black female ECD.